Welcome to another exciting episode of the Trading Bell. Today we are coming to you from industrial area here in Nairobi, and we are at the Crown Paints head office, one of the largest paint manufacturers in the region. I'll be speaking to Mr. Rakesh Rao, who will be talking to us about how the business has been performing in light of the coronavirus pandemic and what are the challenges so far. Join me for this ride. Which is your fastest moving product?
Silk.
Vinyl silk.
Vinyl silk, silicone for exterior.
Okay.
Then matte emulsion. And then and rough and tough. They are very high. If you look into the activities there, you see.
That's where they do the loading from.
Yeah, loading. So earlier, like it was quiet. This place used to be very quiet. I mean, I used to walk around.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you see, like people are quite busy. People are quite busy.
Okay.
This is the material is already checked, has been built, which is now going to the customer end. So the guy will hear a bill. So then he's just showing what you are doing.
Yeah. Yes, sir. My name is Mohammed.
Okay.
Now we are dispatching things to goods to customer.
Okay.
I am using this invoice for this customer name, Midland to load the goods that vehicle.
So this is a hardware you're supplying?
Yeah, the hardware we are supplying.
Oh, nice. Good. Keep safe and maintain usafi kabisa.
Thank you. Stay safe.
So this is also a new product recently launched, Crown Marble Wall Plus Putty. It's basically take care of uneven surface, and it's a cement basis. So that surface become very strong, and then after you put a coat of paint, then paint can last for longer time.
Oh.
Because more a smoother surface, better finish you get it.
Good job.
Yeah, it's a very super product. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Regional expansion plans?
No, it's all things we all done. I mean, the Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda. Fortunately, 3-4 years we had a struggle, but now I think all are shaping up. Yeah, Rwanda is already making profit. Uganda is profitable now almost.
Okay.
Tanzania is little because of the economy market.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into the discussion, let's take a look at Mr. Rakesh's profile. Rakesh Rao has been at the helm of Crown Paints Kenya Limited, the leading paint company in East Africa, as Chief Executive Officer since 2005. Rakesh won the Koya Awards for 2014. Rakesh has steered the company to an annual turnover of over $60 million and enjoys 65% market share. In 2014, he led the team to win overall Company of the Year, Productivity, Quality and Leadership Management Awards. Well, Rakesh, let's get into the points of our discussion this particular moment. We've been hard hit as a country. When you look at how the coronavirus has affected the economy, we've seen people losing jobs. We've seen some companies tinkering on the verge of closure.
Yeah.
And it's really been a difficult time, not only in Kenya, not only in East Africa, Africa at large, but globally.
Yes.
Perhaps paint for us a picture of what has been your story as Crown Paints. How have you managed so far through this coronavirus pandemic? Have you been affected operation-wise, sales-wise? Just walk us through this.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this pandemic is one of the biggest disasters in the world economy. So it has affected us. A particular month of April was a disaster for us, where we lost like 50% sales, and we don't know that time that what is going to be happen. But fortunately, we are able to recover in May, in June, and try to manage our operational costs. I think the most important thing which need to be focused on operational costs. Then we reduce heavily on operation costs and particular marketing budgets wherever is possible, and try to manage ourselves within the budget limits. So make sure that we don't like go overboard on expenses management. So as a Crown, we had decided that if we able to manage these numbers and this profit, then probably we can able to manage, survive. And the second was, focus on cash flow, because cash is a crunch, is going to be affect any organizations.
Sure.
So fortunately, we are lucky that we are able to manage our cash flow with as per our budgeted. We are able to budgeted our sales. Of course, we have readjusted our budget compared to what was original budget.
Okay.
So we have reduced the budget by 20-25%, and we think that even 75-80% volumes and value if we can meet, we're still able to make a break even and we don't lose money.
Okay.
And our third focus was that the employee of the organization is very important, that we were not very keen to send people at home. So we had given target to our employee and then say, fine, if we achieve this target, there won't be no salary cut and people will remain in the job, because it's important people do not lose the job, because it affects the economy overall.
Okay.
And the moral of people also is very important. So I think somehow we are able to survive, not here, even across the region.
Okay.
And we've been able to manage our budgeted sales and able to cut down the cost, and then probably so far I can say that no complaint. Plus also we have focus on innovations. We have launched sanitizers. We launched few item which can sell under this present circumstances to fight COVID. So we have launched PPE, then we launched sanitizers, we launched disinfectants. So we have a lot of new product we introduced in the market, and we have a large network of distributors. So I think it's helped us also to sell few items as COVID.
Okay.
So we're still focusing on innovations and trying to look for options that how we can generate a lost sale due to COVID. So try to adjust, aligning ourselves for a new product line to make, to cover the lost sale.
All right. You've touched on quite a number of issues there, Rakesh. I'm very interested to know, when you say sales dropped by 50%, and of course you've seen business picking up from the month of May to now in July. Perhaps what then happens in the moment that when you look back and say this entire volume of sales was wiped out through the coronavirus pandemic? Do we know the numbers?
I think it was like a panic. Most of the customers and distributors, they stopped operating, and they don't know how to manage their shops, so they closed the shops. They all worried, staff run away, they were not interested. But after 15-20 days, they realized that there's nothing they can do. I mean, they have to be careful and they have to watch and try to sanitize themselves, and if they can take care of various parameters of how to fight and to be sensitize yourself. Business are there, so people are still like buying paints, people still want to finish their project, or they have a lot of maintenance, repairs and maintenance project over there. So I think overall then customer realize that closing a shop and run away is not options. Let's keep the shop open. And I think fortunately a lot of people at home, so they can see, oh my God, now less time to do some repairs at home and do some painting or do some renovations or add value to the house. So I think that's probably the thinking of people could able to help us to, to business bounce back by at least another 20-25%.
All right.
And maybe some of the project which probably completely stopped in February, March, because when this pandemic story has started. So after, April, May, most of the developers took a stand, whatever conditions, we have to finish our project.
Yes.
We must finish the project. Whether we sell, we are able to sell, we are not able to sell is a different thing, but we must complete the project because they don't want to extend the guidelines. So they put a lot of pressure on contractors also to start finishing the project. Then few guidelines, some relaxations also came in, and for social distancing, some sites were open. So that's how movement has started.
All right. Some interesting strategies around business continuity.
Yeah.
And Rakesh, I'm keen to find out, you've recently posted your results, and the numbers are looking good despite what's happening in the economy.
I think it was for 19, year 19, so result was very good. We grew by double digit, but our profit grown by 80 to 90% over last year, and we had a great positive cash flow. So that's where the business fundamentals. Whatever you do, you should maintain your cash flow positive. So that's what we achieved last year. In spite of all difficult situations, poor cash flow, even most of the people are suffering location economy, and people are suffering for cash flows. So somehow we are able to manage with our great customer network and a focus on our strategies to execute, because managing cash flow, there are a lot of principles, fundamentals are required. So we always been tightening the belt on all our major KPIs, and we work very closely on managing the cash flows. So that's probably we are a right direction, strategy in the right directions. Unfortunately, subsidiaries also start picking up and start doing well. So it all helps to us to become more stronger now.
All right. And moving away from the results, Mr. Rakesh, talk to us about now that you're seeing economic activity coming back, the cessation of movement was lifted, and of course the curfew hours are still in place. But what are the immediate impact this will have, especially on your business, where you are serving a bigger chunk of customers across the country? What are you anticipating?
I think this is an improvement, another 5%. It's not improving overall like what we used to do our major budget of last year per month. But I can see this improvement. Like every time 5 to 7% improvements have been happening place. So we realigning ourselves every month we adjust our budgets and try to talk to employees. So suppose last time we did 80%, so this time we say trying to achieve 85 to 90%. And I can see the movements are there in the market. I spoke to a few customers and I'm regularly in touch with them, and they are all saying, and they are very confident that there is a movement in the market. It started now. People has decided to move on rather than cage themselves in the house.
Yeah.
And I think the world where the economy is been doing well or started doing well. Okay, there are certain market where there is after reopening there are cases of increase, but overall the conclusion of most of the all leaders that maybe COVID is going to remain for another 1 year. We must fight, we must defeat COVID and move on and make economy to grow, because we cannot shut down economy. It's more dangerous for the business leaders.
Mr. Rakesh, of course, as you foresee that business will pick up, there's the challenge in the economy where liquidity in many households has been affected. Some people have lost their jobs, and people are battling to find out what are my priorities. Someone who's perhaps building a house in Kikuyu, but right now they're asking themselves, do I really need to prioritize spending on buying paint? What needs to happen? How do you structure your approach to the market in a time where people are basically trying to survive and the basic needs come top of mind? As a company in the manufacturing space, how do you incentivize the market?
I think we have been trying to work on a few strategies where our major customers, a distribution network, and also our painters, which is our key strength, where we have very good painter loyalty programs, and all the painters which buying any product from grounds, they are registered on our network, and we know how the market is moving, how the painters are buying, what is the buying pattern, what are the challenges they have, and probably that's give a lot of input of market sentiments. So overall, we have observed that the painters earlier, like April, May was a little bit difficult for them also, but now people start understanding, and okay, fine, if painters coming to my house, what are the precautions I or he should take? So at least we move on a job. Now this is how we realign ourselves that fine, we cannot do 100% and do 80-85%. So I'm sure that the people who have a money and probably have a saving or the project which is going on, definitely they are confident, they are hopeful that maybe next 6 months onwards the economy will bounce back and will come back. Those are of course struggling for like people have lost a job and people are they focus on different priorities. I believe that can be 25-30% can affect the business the volumes or value can affect it. But I think the economy of Kenya is still resilient and can sustain this type of pandemic for another 1 year.
Okay.
So I'm very confident that particular manufacturing sectors should able to pull up their socks, cut the cost, manage their cash flows, and been able to move on and can manage the business.
All right. Talking about moving the business, have you resumed 100% production capacity? And what are the opportunities in the market right now, especially with innovation and the region and government projects and private sector?
Okay, we have been targeting this month 90-95%, particularly in July, after this opening up. So I hope that it gives some indication that yes, we are on the right direction. So if we do 95%, then it means that this you can see a significant improvement in the economy and particular economic activities. But particular, I can say that in construction sectors. As far as government projects are concerned, probably that will be for us, because we are more on our private sectors and we work on our distribution network and more private sectors. It's very difficult at the moment that to comment that very government sectors have been contributing heavily on our economic growth. That will be difficult for me, but more our business channel and our partners are more on private sectors, and I think they are a little bit confident at the moment, and they are moving on the right directions. The hospitality industry is one of the key concern, where when the people are not coming to countries, and then hotels are key areas, and particular travel agents and all those are affecting at the moment. But with I think the new announcement by the president, I hope that from August onwards there will be some improvement will take place, and we are confident that the economy will start picking up and going to support our activities.
All right. And Rakesh, you are a big manufacturer who has an element of cost when it comes to oil prices.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the global oil prices and how is it affecting the local manufacturers, and is it something that you should be worried about, or is it a good thing at the end of the day?
No, at the moment, global prices, oil prices are not going up. It has gone down. So we can see a little bit improvement on us on our profitabilities. Worldwide raw material prices are not going up because demand of the product raw material is going down. So far input costs are remain under control. Of course, dollar has a little bit, Kenya shilling has depreciated and dollar has gone up. So it has impacted little bit on our cost. But overall, if you look at the raw material costs, because our consumption worldwide has gone down,
yes,
it's benefited us to bring down the cost down. So that part we are very comfortable at the moment. There's no complaint. You can say that, yeah.
All right. And speaking about incentives, of course, the government has rolled out quite a number of incentives to spur economic activity, from cash transfer programs, all under a stimulus package. Have manufacturers been factored in, and what are some of the things you'd like to see government come to the aid of manufacturers like yourselves?
I think for us, the cost of interest to doing business has always been challenged, and of course, the market has a cash flow crunch. People do not pay in time, and they postpone the payments and extend the payment terms, and we'll have to give a little bit of relaxed terms to our customers to at least in this particular time that he feel that we are with them and we are part of family or part of business partner. So I think the cost of interest has been a huge concern to us, and I didn't see any any stimulators or a package from in this regard, like cutting down interest cost by from 12% to 8%, 7%. So I think that can be one of the key things at the moment. If we can, even for 6 months, the relaxations can be given to us in this regard. It will be a really help a lot of people to come back and manage their cost, and can survive a lot of people. I mean, we can save a lot of job, because when the employer take a decision to remove people, when start losing money, and cost of interest is heavy burden to everyone, because everyone has borrowed and to do business. So I think that's a key concern. If you can able to government can address and can able to cut some costs in particular 6 months, and you can manage that cost, because that will have a big impact on reducing our operation costs.
All right. Yeah. And I'd like to get your parting shot, Rakesh. In the midst of this pandemic, many people have been trying different things to stay afloat. And what would be some of the lessons you've picked out of this pandemic that you feel you would want to share with entrepreneurs, especially when it comes to keeping their businesses going and maintaining their cash flow? Because there are some who are totally in depression now that things are not working out. The auctioneers are on their necks saying they want to recover their properties. How would you guide them through this as we wrap up?
No, I think first of important thing is that to be remain positive. Of course, depression will come every day looking at the situation. To be positive, cut on your management costs and cost control measures you to take wherever you can able to do it. You have to take tough steps probably, and come with a solution that how you can manage your break even. I think this is time, maybe do not make money, but do not lose money, do not lose cash. And that's probably going to be very, very difficult for any to survive, because once you getting into negative cash flows, and then all will start, and bank will also bounce back on you, because you're not making money, and then the auctioneer will come. So it's important that whatever the cost cutting measures can be able to taken, and can and engage employee them on a certain platform, how they can able to contribute, because sometimes when the situation comes, most of the time leader do not talk to the staff, do not talk to employee, do not engage them. They just take the decisions, and sometimes that decisions can be nasty for a businessman. So I think during this time, the leader has to engage team, engage his people, engage staff, and have a dialogue with them, and try to bring the cost down. I think everyone's ready to support if you talk to them nicely.
Yes.
So that also make a lot of difference, and leader has to sensitize the situation with the team, and then work very closely with the team. You cannot take the decision and top and saying, fine, I can cut the salary by 50%, 60%, and then it's the only way to survive. So I think those things probably many companies have done, and it sometimes didn't work out.
Okay.
So I feel that you need to be an inspirational leader. You have to keep inspiring people, engaging them, cutting the cost, and try to manage a fundamental of business, how we can remain float in this condition. Last but not least, I think sending, I know there are some company had to send people home, but it will again impact the economy in a bigger way, because it's no purchase power of people there, how we going to sell. So I think even if situation required by the organization to cut salary by 30, 40, 50%, they can cut, but still they should not send people home, and try to save their life and save their job.
All right.
So that will have a better impact on economy in coming years.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rakesh Rao, for speaking to us on the Trading Bell. Wow, I hope you've been able to be struck, just as I have, by the size and the scale of operations here at Crown Paints at their factory here in Nairobi. We do hope that this conversation was able to open your eyes to see some of the opportunities in the manufacturing industry and how Kenyans are making ends meet even as we battle this pandemic. That's it for this week's episode of The Trading Bell. My name is Agina. Let's do this next time. Keep safe. Bye-bye.